Hmm. Welcome again. So, our ultimate aspiration and progression depends on these 8 steps: learn, act, offer, I can say control, purity, discern, realize, and there is a freedom. Brandy was just said, no, I will be free. So I have to check, I am free from a particular work or I have a total freedom. So when I have a total freedom, I'm following the Eastern wisdom. But if I don't have the total freedom, then yes, I'm free from doing this work and then I will be free from doing this work. So this SMART and the CLEAR acronym, all the 8 steps will help you to change the entire orientation, entire perception towards life, entire perception towards life. So you will remain, you will experience the inner freedom all the time. Now we are going deeper. I have one more thought that I will take up later. Let us focus on these 8 steps and understand it, what happens. We experience waking and the dream states and sleep states. Can I say that we experience these 3 states, what we are not? We are experiencing these 3 states, but we are none of them. Then what happens? Then the mind creates a false notion of who am I. The moment I wake up in the morning, I see my room and the world outside. I have thoughts, and the mind forms an opinion who am I? It forms an opinion based on perception of my senses, past memories that are present in the mind, my habits. This is known as the ignorance. Ignorance is not somewhere when you start studying. This is what the ignorance is. You wake up in the morning and you have a stress. Who says that you have a stress? Mind. And I lose my awareness. Pay attention. I'm going to say something very simple, but in a very subtle manner. So I'm happy because of doing something. I'm unhappy doing something that continues throughout my since I wake up in the morning until I retire to the bed. So we are opening up sleeping state, dream state, and waking state in a different perception. I'm an individual in the waking state and dream state. I don't experience as an individual in the sleep state. Am I right? Say yes. I'm just going slowly. I don't experience I'm an individual in sleep state. I experience individual as a dreamer and individual as a waker. So first there is a waker, then We start the session, then another label comes, teacher, student, seeker, and then another label comes, speaking good, speaking not good, and long list. Mind has created such a habit to continue to live in ignorance, claiming I'm living in real. Did you get it? Are you getting it? We experience as an individual in waking and dream state. We do not inquire who is this individual and where the individual has gone in the sleep state. After all, we have gone too far. So, whatever we perceive through the senses and the mind, it is all imagination. We do not see what we are. We cannot see what we are. Did you understand the last statement? We do not see, let me qualify. We cannot see who we are through my senses, through my mind, through my habit, through my problems, and through my pain. I always see as an individual through my ignorance. Can I say ignorance of the real self is sleep? You have to contemplate and reflect, otherwise it will not work. Ignorance of the real self is sleep. Why? I'm not experiencing what I am. Like in sleep, I don't experience I'm an individual. Not receiving what is right is sleep. In deep sleep, we do not get the right knowledge and we do not get the opposite knowledge or wrong knowledge. So that is why it is ignorance, and ignorance of the real self is sleep. Whatever is seen in the dream and the waking state is constantly changing, will not last. That is what I claim that I am. I am big, I'm small, I'm stressed, I have a lot of challenges, I experience the freedom, etc., etc., etc. I am seen as a body and the mind through my senses and the mind. Whatever is seen is not me. Do I maintain my awareness? I'm coming to that. I'll make it clear. Continue to, I just use this example. Experiencing the opposite about who am I in dream. Clear? In the waking state and also in the dream state, we receive lot of inputs, either through the mind or through the senses and the mind. You look at the honey, I'm husband. You look at the honey, I'm wife. You look at your son, I'm father. Experiencing the opposite about who am I in dream and waking state. Clear? So then what happens? The dream less sleep. Dreamless sleep, ignorant. I don't get any information about what is right and wrong. And dream full sleep is a waking state. I wake up. Oh, I wake up at, 4 today. So I wake up at 4 today. I, individual. Now, how our masters makes us understand to live continuously into that real self. Let us take simple examples. Scientists also do not see Earth is round through the senses and the mind. No scientist can see it. Do you believe that they see actually Earth is round and I don't see because I'm not a scientist? And we see the Earth is like, I see your home, I see the highways, and I see my home. So, and if I start arguing that no, 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 Earth cannot be round. Look at my house is rectangle and your highways is like this. How can you say the Earth is round? What is the problem? Same way, my mind, because of habit, because of ignorance, I my mind keeps on arguing that how can I be the real self? Where is the solution? How come the scientists declare that the earth is round without seeing it? They see in their intellect. They see that knowledge. There is a right knowledge. Same way we see through the right knowledge that I'm the real self. There is no need to argue. I have to understand, I have to study each and every part of the Eastern wisdom to realize that I'm the real self. Did you get it? Scientists, again, I'm repeating the same thing. Scientists, their sense organs are the same like mine. I see my house. Oh, yes, I see your house. Scientists also say. But understand the earth is round. How can I believe? My house is rectangle. Highways, is moving track. The same way we say I'm the body and the mind. In dream state, in the waking state, both are dream state. So I need that understanding. That understanding is seeing the earth is round. That understanding is seeing that I'm not the body and the mind all the time. But mind in ignorance keeps on arguing with oneself. So when you learn all these principles, you understand that the argument, because of the past impressions present in the mind, do not stand. Now, earth is moving, but my house is not moving. Do you see the argument? And this argument comes from the ignorance. I'm just relating so that you can easily grasp it. Come on, I feel the body, so I'm the body. I'm putting the same argument. Come on, I feel it. I feel the pain. How can I say that I'm not the body and the mind? So you put before the scientists put the same argument. Come on, go outside. I don't see any movement in the earth. Since our birth, we have been living in ignorance. Our mind is so much crazy that it returns to its belief, ignorance, even after listening and learning that I am the body and the mind. Do you see? I-ness in the body, I-ness in the mind, I-ness in the real self. Three factors are there. Same argument. What should we do? And that is what I said in the last session: listening and learning, repeat listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, and practice and experience. It should change my behavior, attitude, thought, speech. And yes, if I'm looking only for relaxation and calmness, that is okay. You can do any practice of meditation, you can go to any teacher. If they have created their own mindfulness practice, do it and be happy. Again, return to the same stuff that I'm the body and the mind. Again, do the practice. That is okay. But our goal is high. So that we reach to a point where there is a conviction in the intellect, goes to the mind. It becomes a recognition and first 8 steps lays the foundation to drop all the unnecessary argument in your head, not with others, in your head. In your head. You have an extreme pain, still you can be aware of a point deep inside you which is devoid of pain. 100% it is possible. How come you say? The way the earth is round, you don't see it. You are wrong because you are seeing the earth through your sense organs. And whatever is known is not you. I know my body, hence I am the body. I know my mind, hence I am the mind. I know that I have a stress in the mind, so therefore it is also known. I'm a knower, I'm not a known. I'm a seer, I'm not seen. See that? How the master helps us to understand, thanks to those masters and their writings, which still exist, which helps us to understand each and every aspect of it. Clear understanding. I gave you an understanding with an argument of, oh, how can you say that the earth is round and earth is moving? You are crazy. Eastern wisdom follows the knowledge from wherever it comes. So the scientific advancement in technology is helping us to give these examples. It is not opposite like religion. We are not following any religion, cult, dogma. We want to put the right knowledge into the intellect by listening and learning, repeat listening and learning, repeat contemplation and reflection. The mind has to change. What are the 8 steps? The first step, I told you, learn. So I have to maintain my awareness. I'm learning Eastern wisdom to learn about myself. What do I learn gradually and progressively? Dreamless sleep and dreamful sleep has 2 parts. Dreamful sleep, it is dream and the waking state. In the waking state, it is also like a dream. Why? Because I don't see the real self. A guy enters into a room. You introduce, look at, he is my son, or he is my husband, or she is my wife. I'm referring to the sense perception, but it doesn't mean that in a transactional world you don't introduce. Then there will be a problem. In the transactional world, we have to continue the dreamful life. Learn. You have to pay attention to it. Study Eastern wisdom to study myself. Or you can use any phrase, listening, learning. Why? But how the mind can settle. So the masters have found out that pick up any Shanti mantra every day when you wake up in the morning. In the first few weeks and a month, you will forget, but after that, your mind returns. Mind recognizes that yes, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. You wake up and the mind goes to that. That happiness is my nature. Then, even if you leave this Shanti mantra, the mind continues to live in a higher awareness. It is changing, it has changed. When the mind has changes, it will not argue, show me. Earth is round, earth is moving. Understanding comes in the mind. And if that understanding comes in the mind, where is the stress? Where is the anxiety? Where is the reaction in your life? Impulsively, yes, in order for emergency situations, you can do it impulsively, but it will not create any impression in you. To look at closely from this perspective, the third, second, or the second says act, act, act. It does not say go to the Himalayas and sit there, go for a retreat for about a week, and after a week, ask the mind to return to the same habit. No. The master says after studying Eastern wisdom, you have studied yourself, now apply this in your daily life. Inside, with that understanding, you are living, you are thinking, you are speaking, and you are acting. Why? To transform the mind, change your behavior and attitude, change your thought, speech, and action. Why? To experience peace and the joy. To get some perception clearly that yes, I'm of the nature of peace and happiness. Act. First I said learn, act is the second step. And third is that actor. Am I the doer? No, this body and the mind is the doer. Existence is the doer. It takes a lot of time for the mind to believe, to have a clear perception that I'm not the doer. Now, don't just think that, I'm not the doer, I'm speaking to you all. I will never say, but say, for example, I said something nasty or I said something beautiful. You all are inspired on one hand, and you felt that how crazy this guy is. But I don't own the doership. I don't own the enjoyership. So what happens to me? I don't create any impression in my mind. And these impressions will multiply, will create an unfavorable condition. In the future will also not be there. That is our fourth step. Probably, possibly, I would say you all have one or the other pet. And sometimes the pet jumps on you and hurts you. So that pet is not a sinner because the I-ness is not there. We do everything with the big I-ness. And from where this I-ness has come, I've already explained you. Dreamful. Oh, I'm sorry. I have learned to say sorry anywhere, everywhere, without any reason in US. No, most of the time. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You are chatting. The other guy can move from the other side, and you see. No, I'm sorry. Did he ask you something? No, I'm sorry. I have also learned, in transactional world, it is the same thing. I am. I am. Are you getting it? So the third, that existence, the moment I leave, that all my actions belongs to these are what animals do. A banyan tree is 40, sometimes 40 meters, in Himalayas, I have seen that those are 40 meters tall. And you stand before the tree. The tree says that you look at this, look at me, how tall I am. You claim that you are 6 feet. It's nothing. Very subtler level of this I-ness must go, must go. So learn, act, offer all the actions to the existence, and I'm using the word control. Control means, I talked about it, obsession based desire or need based desire. That is what I discussed last time. Obsession based desire, I have to regulate it. If it is obsession based, it comes with the I-ness, very strong I-ness. We are not talking obsession is good and bad. We are saying that this obsession veils the mind with ignorance. That is our fourth step, and the fifth I have already discussed. Fifth is what? Fifth is the purity. Cleanse yourself from the accumulated sins, because you don't own. You don't claim the ownership. I claim the ownership of a son, say for example, 10 years old son. And the neighbor also has a 10-year-old son. In one individual, I claim the ownership because of I-ness. In the neighbor's son, I don't claim the ownership. If something happens to the neighbor's son, I'm okay. If something happens to so-called my son, because of that I-ness, you understand that? So the master, it doesn't mean that you should not take care. Again, I'm saying you, don't misunderstand it. Understanding is required. Scientist, what is that understanding? It is knowledge, it is perception, it is awareness, whatever you want to say. So the fifth step, the purity comes. Purity, the moment you have a purity, you experience the freedom. In that freedom, I have to discern what I have to discern. Now the basic topic has come, which I had started the session. What to discern? I have to recognize the defects of the worldly pleasures. I love eating pasta, keep on eating pasta. But see the defect and check. I used to check that, okay, now it is 8:20. I'm eating pasta. It took me 10 minutes of eating the pasta. So 10 minutes that every bite placed on the tongue gives me the pleasure. After 10 minutes, where is the pleasure? It is a defect. It is a defect. For anything and everything. You can use the word pasta for sex, for buying a clothes, for buying a car, any damn thing. I'm just using one very humble word. Recognize the defects of the worldly pleasures. Master is not saying don't have it. But now it is not a dreaming world to enjoy the pasta that is an obsession based desire. It is with an awareness, with an understanding that knowledge with only 10 minutes and the mind spend hours together with its thought, with its color, with its style, with its oh, mind creates a long story about a car, about a cloth, about the home, about the car. Master is not saying don't have it. One guy was telling me that, but you should appreciate the Buddha left the kingdom. I said, no, he changed the name of the palace. If you come to India, you can find out beautiful palaces, which is known as the monastery of Buddha. You have simply changed the name. You need it. It is need-based desire. He has to train thousands of monks where he has to live. Do you see that? It is an understanding in the mind, not arguing outside. Show me the earth is moving. Show me how come I am not the body and the mind. It will not work. That may be holding in your mind. The sixth one, discern, realize what to realize. Ah, so what happens, then what happens? You enjoy the pasta, whatever is the pleasure. But this pleasure is experienced momentarily. You are maintaining awareness that it is the defect. It comes because of the sense organs and the habit of the mind. You are free. Next time you don't get pasta, you are happy with any food. Mind is clear. You continue the discernment. Then comes the seventh step. Where is the seventh step? Now your mind is filled with one aspiration. Where is the real self? Where is the real self? I desire for the real self. What is the eighth step? You see, metaphorically, the eighth step is leave your home. Now the time has come when you followed all the seven. It does not mean that you have to leave the home. You have left the home of pleasure, of ignorance. You have left the home of habitual identification with the body, that I'm the body and the mind. What happens? You have started living in peace, in the joy, freedom from the duality. They will come, yes, they will come, but you can easily resolve them very fast because mind has an impulsive nature. So sometime it moves into that direction. Think, think. So two things, it gives you an understanding. Blueness of the sky. Even for a scientist, they have to see through the same sense organ. The sky continues to appear as a blue, but the blueness is not there. So I have two perception. One perception in ignorance. I argue and confirm that the sky is blue. Second perception is inside. Understanding is inside. Understanding is inside. I'm not in stress. I'm not in anxiety. I don't continue the ownership of the anxiety and duality and a conflict and pain. Why? They belong to. If you are dreaming that after awakening and realization with the same body, you will not have a pain, this body will become immortal, then you are still living in ignorance. What is real self is immortal. But as long as I claim that I am the body, then I cannot be immortal. Mrityurmamritangamaya. I'm peeling the onion step by step in every session. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed and place position in the posture. You're still peeling the onion? Yes. How? By place, position, and posture. Yes, you have to contemplate and reflect and find out how. Why should I tell you everything? Being comfortable and carefree. Being comfortable is also being comfortable follows the which one? The sixth step, the discernment. I have to discern. What is that? Comfort is my nature. But yes, I can use in the beginning when I'm in stress, let me look at the neck joint, feel looking inside. So now I'm aware that I have changed the direction, then I feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So you continue to do on a given situation if you feel discomfort, unease in the body, even while lying down, sitting, or standing. Being carefree. Being carefree, you understand that I believe so. Can you say in your mind what it means by carefree to you? Very good. And then recognize the nature of defects in the world. All the six neighbors belongs to the world in one way. But still we classify, we divide. The first neighbor is the world outside, and the body. If the world does not exist, do you have the pain and the pleasure? No, I will not have it. But who experiences this senses in the mind? Okay, so senses in the mind creates an identity that I'm the body, and somebody hits me because I'm the body, so I'm hurt. You have to contemplate and reflect. Listen, learn, contemplate, reflect. Second is the physical body. Physical body has to undergo birth, growth, childhood, youth, old age, and the death, pain and the pleasure. So if I am the body, I have an extreme pleasure and I have an extreme pain. And if I'm not the body, then breath and the energy in life, hunger and the thirst. Third neighbor. Fourth neighbor is the mind. This crazy mind has to be taught. That is why we are practicing. All meditation is done to help the mind to drop and dissolve and destroy all layers of the ignorance. Then whatever is left, is the real self. Whatever happens is known as awakening. Fifth is the I-ness in the intellect. We understand this is I-ness. I see the very I. Because I see it, so it is not real self. How simple it is for the intellect to understand, but for the mind to realize and experience, it takes the time depending on the intensity, sincerity, and commitment that you have. In a meditation session, I'm not the body and the mind. After the meditation session, throughout the day, I'm body and the mind. So you lack contemplation and reflection. And the sixth neighbor is the ignorance, causal body. And then Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. That you have to do every day in the morning. You check every day in the mind that now today the mind went into the dreamful sleep that is a waking state, or it returned to this mantra. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Reflect on why I'm stressing, and every master is going to stress. If you go to this traditional learning, they know where you stand, and that is why they want you to learn it differently in variety of ways. Why? Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. May there be peace for all. So mind, argues here. How can I make everyone peaceful? Then our teaching says, no, my friend. We are saying, do you recognize that peace is your essential nature? Yes. So if peace is your essential nature, it is the essential nature of every living being. That is why we are saying, may there be peace for all. You see the argument and the resolution. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. May there be completeness for all. Completeness? Can you figure out and reflect which step it is attacking? Obsession-based desire and need-based desire. Need-based desire, survival for the food, survival, etc., etc. Obsession-based desire creates a sense of incompleteness in me, causes the ignorance, fills my mind with a habit. I own my body, I am the body and the mind. All the 8 steps are destroyed. If I don't feel the sense of completeness in me. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. When there is a peace and completeness and happiness, obviously, I'm in a auspicious moment. Can I continue this auspicious moment, which I recovered? Recovered means it is already present within me. Do you just see that? Do you see that? It is already present within me. No issue. Look at the head and the neck. And your mind, because of its awareness, it doesn't argue. It says, yes, I'm aware of the head and the neck. I'm aware of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. You see, you have an experience which is dominating then the part of the body. Yes, but this sensation, relaxation, stillness do not depend on anything outside. Is it possible all the time? 100%. Tell the mind 100% if you follow this teaching. Right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips. Intellect knows it. Mind doesn't, even it knows it, does not want to know it. Why? I told you, it wants to argue. That argument is your ignorance. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Left arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Now you see what happens. Your mind is simply aware of the left arm. One is aware of the left arm, and one, after awareness, I add, it is my. My comes from I am the body. This is understanding of the scientist to whom we argue that how can you say the earth is round? Be very clear. We are entering into the subjective reality. Middle portion of the body from the shoulder down to the waist in the front and the back. Did you reflect on it? Do you experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness? Did you question how come the sensation, relaxation, and stillness has come? That that argument that I am the body with its feeling has gone. Again, there is nothing in the Eastern wisdom, but there is everything. Right leg. Part of the body, yes. But deeper inside, you are fully aware that I'm not the body. But the mind argues, so you resolve that argument. That is what the meditation is, nothing else then. That is why we repeat until we reach to that state. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Left leg. So you carefully research left leg. What do you mean? From the toes to the left side of the waist, from the left side of the waist to buds and thigh and the knee and the calf, ankle, heel, sole, toes. When you live into that awareness of the left leg, you will definitely feel sensation increases. There is a sense of relaxation and stillness. Because you move to a new, subtler experience of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. That experience is a higher and a better experience than it is my left leg. My left leg means I'm the body. Do you see that you lighten, you dissolve what the scientist does? They do the same thing. Can you tell me any scientist has seen that the earth is round? Seen means sense organs, entire body, from the top of the head to the toes. Top of the head to the toes, move gently, means move with awareness. You see that you might have done many yoga studio asanas class. Lift your arm gently. I'm simply saying don't lift it. Look at your body gently. Gently means with awareness, bypassing those arguments from the top of the head to the toes. Move it again and again. Don't do it faster or gently, whatever you understand. You will know the result and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Now, do you understand that why gives so much of stress on sensation, relaxation, and stillness? What we did, we almost did nothing. We are resolving to understand why the earth is, why we are real self. So you are looking casually inside the heart. Yes, visualize the triangle of any color. Should I give you a hint? Yes. When I say that you visualize the triangle, you have a memory of that triangle. So the mind has an image of a triangle. You have an image of Om Shanti. You have an understanding of moving the mind clockwise and anti clockwise. Do you see? Everything comes from the memory. And the next part, nothing comes from the memory. Anything comes from the memory? Yes, sometimes it helps. So we use these tools, Om Shanti on each side of a triangle, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. And the moment you find a sync, now you see. Mentally, loudly, you are saying it as if your mind is being pushed deep inside the cave of your heart. You leave the mind, you leave the almost. How you leave it by saying Shanti, you are into the mode of self absorption. Finished. Mindfulness. For the sake of self-remembering. Self-remembering. Mind has no role to play. That is why it is self-absorption. These terms appear very complex, but they are not complex. They are very easy to understand. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. Let's share our experiences. How are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, I've been doing a lot of contemplating and reflecting on uh, all of this. And what I started doing is breaking this down into pieces of first starting with the real self, then the understanding that the intellect exists, and within the intellect is the knowledge, and your teachings and the teachings of the Eastern wisdom is where that resides. And then there's the mind and body complex. So I found the most success in my contemplation reflection over the years is when I could identify each one of those, where each piece, where it belongs in my day to day, and understanding that the world and the transactional world really resides in the mind and body, and that's not who I am. And then this idea of repetition and doing things over and over and over again is a way of just cleansing the mind and body complex of everything that we've been taught prior to this wealth of knowledge in the intellect. And so now anything and everything that's coming at me is put into one of those buckets. And it's clearly, even to sum it up, it's like even during meditation, when you were saying, look at the right arm or look at the neck, the first thing that came to my mind was mind body complex. But the second I settled into that mind body complex and recognized that it was the mind body complex, the real self emerged, because it all disappeared. And it was just about the breathing and being in that moment. And it then started, my mind, the contemplation reflection was going on during my meditation, going like these ahas along the way to I went for a walk yesterday and I saw my neighbor, and my neighbor says, "How are you?" And the first thing I thought of was, I'm in peace, I'm in happiness, I'm in love, I'm truth and wisdom. And I went for the very first time, the real self emerged first before the mind and body complex. And I was like, aha. So thank you.
Beautifully said. And it is everything is self-explanatory. And that is a good thing. One thing that I want to repeat, that the knowledge is located in the intellect. Then yes, I understand intellectually, but the mind prevents it to manifest. But why? Because if the mind wants to get rid of all the past impression that I am the body mind complex, it is the death of the mind. So it has fear, it has anxiety, it has duality, it has a conflict. So, yes, everyone has to devise one spot out of the same principle. And the way you have done it is wonderful. Thank you. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you for the session. I think it was a useful explanation that even though we cannot see the real self through the senses and the mind, we can still use intellect to infer that it exists and that it penetrates everything, and including the mind and the sense organs. And it is really easy to see, even from the perspective of the modern science and quantum physics, which comes very close to the explanation of how our world exists and how it does not exist, and it comes very close to this explanation of the Eastern wisdom. But of course, there's still a mind to convince, and we know we do that by the practice and repetition. So yes, and my meditation was very calm, peaceful, and deep. Thank you.
Beautiful. If you find a scientist from the physics, and especially the quantum physics, and if he is into that level of awareness and you ask him, "Oh, can you see my beautiful room?" He says, "No, all are waves. There is no solid, there is no liquid, there is no gas. Everything is no. Where is the solid you are talking about?" You see that? So now comes, I'm saying everyone, including the Dennis also, who has arrived to this conclusion first? Eastern wisdom or science? We are 10,000 years old tradition. so, so now see that it means it is a solid transactional world. Even the scientist has to pass through the door. He has not to hit the wall. Even if he says it is all energies. Understand this. So when we start learning this meditation and Eastern wisdom, we see how it is possible, unnecessary argument. That causes lot of, then we cannot reach to that state of awakening. Beautifully said, Dennis. How are you, David? And uh, then I will go to, yes.
Thank you. The three states were caught my attention during the lesson today. Very fascinating. The fact that in the awakening state and the dream state we are mind and body oriented, but the intellect tells us during the sleep state that we don't have that, and the only thing we know is that we're alive. So that causes a lot of questions, and then bring that knowledge over into the dream state and the awakening state to perfect those states to find the true self. Hope that makes sense. It was very good. I really like it. Thank you.
As long as my mind says I am the body and the mind, whether in a waking state or so-called the dream state, both are dream state, because I receive something from the senses in the mind. In deep sleep, I don't receive anything. So there I live in ignorance. But here I also live in ignorance by receiving those inputs from the senses and the mind. I become the body-mind complex. And the real self cannot be seen by the senses and the mind. Hence, I have to transcend the mind. That is what the meditation is. Beautifully said. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, sir. I had a realization, a semantic thing that you used today, that we're not the seer or the seen, or we are the seer, we're not the seen, and we're the knower, not the known. And in a class yesterday, I encouraged the students to see first what's the same in all of us. And I realized that that's really not the direction. The direction is more to know, not see.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was very deep meditation.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Seer and the seen. I am searching the knower, the seer. Who am I? That is the knower and the seer. You can discard, reject everything that the senses and the mind knows. Mind says, I am the body. So it comes under known. I am not the body. I am the mind. I am stressed. I am rich. I am poor. I am husband. I am wife, and long list. That is how the entire conditioning has taken place in our life. Beautifully said, Jerry. How are you, Brandy?
I'm still good, same as from the beginning. Thanks for the session.
Yes. Are you asking the question, if I'm not beautiful, Brandy, then who am I?
No,
Are
I'm
you
not
asking-
asking.
Okay.
No, I'm not asking that question. I just realized that you and I had the conversation about when my semester ends, am I free? And I said to you, I'm free no matter what. But that was sort of that. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. Whether I per your lesson, right? I'm free regardless of whether my semester's in session or not in session.
I like the realization. In the very beginning when she came and she said, I'm free. I'm becoming free because my sessions are coming to an. So why shouldn't I be free, independent of anything outside? And anything that is dependent, related to body and mind complex. Find out if it is not. Or then show me how the earth is round. No, your argument is wrong. If you tell the scientist of the quantum physics, show me where is the energy, they will say, don't talk to me. We say, no, keep on talking to remove your ignorance, because we are going to find the real self. That is the basic difference. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. The states also stood out to me today because I realized I think that when I wake up and do a meditation in the morning, I'm doing it in the waking state as the false I, but not even realizing it. So it just continually surprises me.
Yes.
All of the delusions that
Yes.
exist.
There are delusions, rightly said, you picked up the right point. There are delusions where we are comfortable. We are relaxed. We are relaxed. I can't imagine, honey, how much you love me. We are comfortable. No, I'm just saying you. And then you have a physical pain. Both are related to body-mind complex. Yes, the waking state is another dream state. It is, you can say it is a very refined dream state in which we are living. And Brandy has recognized that, no, I'm free. You see, that we need that extraordinary awareness to live, to find that real self and to awaken to ourselves. Beautifully said. How are you, Terry? Where are you?
Where am I?
Yes.
Well, that's a complicated question. Do you mean where am I? Or, well, I was, I don't know.
I resolved all the complications, and you say it is very complicated.
And we know we're taught science from a young age.
Yes.
And that makes it easier to believe. If we were taught Eastern wisdom from a young age, perhaps it would be natural to believe it.
Yes, yes. But you see that you don't have any movement in the body. That is what I feel is wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Consciousness, which is reflected by the mind into the body, that very reflection pertaining to the movement is absent because the mind is withdrawing inside. It is another way to talk about it. I will talk in the next lesson. That is also a way to get rid of this movement. It is possible. 100% it is possible. No scientist has seen the earth is round. No one has seen it. Or does anyone?
The astronaut.
It is an understanding.
Yes.
It is the knowledge. So the same thing, knowledge about myself, that I'm the real self of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom.
That's a good metaphor. I like it.
But those people who argue that, no, I see your body, that you are a non-seeker. Come back again. keep on doing meditation. Continue to relax. That is the only
That's
level.
super empathy.
So please contemplate and reflect. That is all for today. Thank you very much. We will meet again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.